Come on, I'm still not live. Now I'm finally live. Goodness sakes, got some serious slowdown in the internet today. I don't know why. I hope that's not a harbinger of what's to come today. But thanks for your patience in logging in. Um, we'll get everybody in here in just a second. The I don't know if it's my website or YouTube or what's going so slow today, but we got everything moving like turtles. So as soon as you get logged in, let me know if you can hear me. Make sure you can. The sound is good. Let's see. This should be. If I click on this, hopefully this will help get everybody in. Kick your Fanny Friday. All right, so we're good. All right, Lanny, look and sound great. Ha! I look good according to Lanny. That's based on a very low bar of what looks good. Let's go get up today's list of songs. It's going to be brutal because I haven't had a chance to work on them today yet. Had to go get a haircut. Got to go get a haircut, and we are going to be in trouble because I did not practice. All right, let's see. For those of you who don't know, practicing is a good idea. Make a better barchord ukulele. All right, we're going to do that one. And then key of C arpeggio. You can do that. Happy birthday, Blinky style. That'll be tough for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. Not too tough. Ashgrove is where the trouble's going to happen. So that's just so you know. All right, let's see. Who else is logging? Lynn. In from New Jersey. I always want to say New Jersey now because you told me to not say that. so let's see. It's 12:58. We got 3-4 minutes before we'll get started. It is super hot and super humid here in Colorado, and I don't like it. We're having, in all of this excitement over what's going on in the world, we have neglected to discuss the fact that global warming is still continuing on in a forward-facing direction, and now it's making me sad. So we won't talk about that. We're here to have a lovely day playing ukulele. Laurel, welcome in. Northwest corner of Littleton. Littleton is just south of Denver here, and the northwest corner is the good corner, right, Laurel? There's the good Littleton and there's the bad Littleton. Hey, Sandy, welcome in up from the Yoop. And let Lynn, let's see. Happy TGIF to you too, Phyllis, in from Ontario, Canada. Pauline, in from the Bay Area. Some easy stuff and some tough stuff today. That's how we want it, though, right? I mean, ideally, as a musician, and we're no longer talking about you guys as ukulele players, right? You can play ukulele. You're fine. You're going to be fine. You know what you're supposed to do. The question is, when are you going to turn it into music? And as a musician, we like to have some hard stuff, some stuff that makes us so sad that we can't play yet. And then we want some easy stuff that maybe we could teach to somebody else. And then we want some stuff in the middle that keeps us challenged, but not too challenged. And I think that's today. I feel like today's lesson gives us a little bit of all of that, right? I think key of C arpeggio is kind of challenging. Yankee Doodle, Amazing Grace, not terribly challenging. Happy Birthday, a little bit more. Happy Birthday, Blinky style, definitely a little more challenging. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow, yeah, in that range of not too challenging. Ash Grove and 5'2", pretty challenging, right? And so I think we have a nice mixture of stuff that we are working on, and hopefully you're finding your place in that. And I would hate to be doing lessons where you're not challenged at all. That's this lesson. Da 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 da. That's what every ukulele student ends up having to deal with. That's not good enough, right? That's just not good enough. And so what we want to always be doing is saying, all right, you can do that, but can you do this? Oh, you can do that? Well, can you do this? Well, can you do that? Can you do this? And I think that's what we're always working on, just getting it where you're always finding something you can't do and then working on that. So hopefully not demoralizingly difficult, but definitely I want to challenge all you guys each week. Laurel, oh, you're close up to Red Rocks. Oh, you're really in the good area. I didn't know that, Laurel. That's nice. Judy, welcome in, back from camping. we've got to get this camping stopped because it's messing up my ukulele numbers, right? Because you guys are going out into the woods. Hopefully, you're taking a ukulele with you and messing around with it up in the high country somewhere. Uh, uh, let's see. But Linda's in, and she's rooked Clay into coming into these lately, and we're delighted he is sticking with it. We'll see. We'll see if he sticks. Right. We're kind of a tough crowd around here. Not necessarily always beginner friendly. Let's see. Hey, Renee, in for aloha. I love that. And when a Hawaiian says aloha, you feel like that's how it should go. But when a non-Hawaiian says aloha, then you know it's for real. So, hey, Patty, she's also in from Littleton. I don't really know which part. Littleton's real wide down there, so there's lots of different places for it to be. Guys, well, you typically on Friday we get a little bit smaller crowd because people head out of town and do whatever they're going to do. They're out living their lives, which we want them to stop doing. And I'm going to move this over because if I'm going to try to look you in the eye, I will have no hope if it's sitting over there. So hopefully, how are we looking? Okay, got a haircut this about an hour ago. He always gives me a mirror and says, "Do you want to see the back?" And I'm like, I don't know what I would be looking at if I looked at the back of my hair. So I hold the mirror and he shows me the back, and I go, "Looks great." That's what I know about haircuts. But this is, see, I'm getting old. I got old, and so all my hair is gray. In my head, this is still brown. I had light chestnut hair as a young man, and I used to have more of it. It used to come down all over my shoulders. I had it down to almost to my butt when I went off to college. And then when you get to college, it turns out you don't have time to take care of your hair, so you start chopping it off until you become an old man, and you just have a short haircut now. So I got a new haircut today. He parted it on the same side I parted on. Sometimes he cuts it the other way, but this is the spot right here. This is the spot that the hair grows straight out. And so it's always a mess. And now I have this goo, right? Remember when I was young, I was like, I don't need goo because goo is for girls, right? And that's my attitude. But now I'm like, oh, you mean you put a little goo in there and it solves your problem? Give me the goo. So, yeah, it's, I don't know, something you buy in a little bottle. You just, right? And then the thing doesn't stick straight out anymore. All right. I'm trying to become a less backward human being. And so by putting goo in my hair, I feel like I am getting there. I didn't shave today, clearly, so that's not good. You don't need me to be shaved. You need me to be playing music so that you can play along with me and increase your skills, and I can increase my skills, and we all can get to be better ukulele players, right? So it doesn't matter what I look like, although it would be better if I was about 20 years old, blonde, female, with a pretty little English accent. That's what we want. I follow one guitarist on YouTube who has a British accent, an upper class British accent, and all I want to do is just listen to her. I don't care what she's talking about. I just want to listen to her, and she's really lovely, and she's quite a accomplished guitar player, and she talks about her autistic journey, and I just absolutely adore her. I don't know if she has anything meaningful to say. I just like to listen to English accents. All right, Kat made it in on time. Kat, good for you. Carol is here. Happy Friday to you. Valerie, yeah, realtor needed to vacate for the afternoon. Yeah, Valerie, I know you're dealing with a realtor right now. I was a realtor for a while. It turns out that's a job where you have to have a different skill set than I possess, and so I stopped being that. I ended up in real estate for a real long time, but not in sales. I ended up in commercial development. So if there was a place to put a strip mall, I put a strip mall there. That's what I did back in the day, and that's also where I left my heart and my soul. It was in strip malls all over the Western United States. That's where I was a real live, nice, caring human being, and then that happened, and now I'm like I am. Are there pictures of hair down to your butt? There are not. There are not. Thank God. Thank God. Back in the day, remember back in the day, if you took a picture, you had to put, it was on film, right? So you had to take good pictures. You wanted to take pictures that were going to, when you sent them into Walgreens and you got them back, that it was worth the 12 cents that it took you to create that photo. So photos used to be valuable and important, and we would care about them, and we wouldn't take them just willy-nilly. You'd never consider taking a photo of your dinner or yourself. And so people looked at my hair and the way I was conducting my life, and they're like, that we don't need to document that. So yeah, there are no pictures of those days, thank God. Clay is in. Aloha to you. Linda is here. Terry, happy Friday from downtown Denver, and Yuknubin from Argentina. So we're all here. Let's play some music. So we're starting with Make a Better Bar. Okay, that is hopefully you downloaded that. It's on the front page of everything's on the list today. Hopefully you got all that in there. We're going to start with Make a Better Bar. And today's concert is set up in the same way that I'm hoping you set up your practice sessions. I want you to start with some etudes. I want you to get your hands loosened up and warmed up. Then I want you to work on stuff that's that you're working on. It's kind of in your wheelhouse. I want you to usually finish up the part you're working on that's tough. Put 20, if you're practicing for 20 or 30 minutes, I want you to put 80% of your effort into your new work that you're really trying to master. And then at the end of the time, I want you to play something that's just enjoyable. Okay. So hopefully, of all of the songs we had this week, the two songs you're most likely to just end up playing for pure enjoyment would be Ash Grove and 5'2". The other songs on today's list are sort of instructional, and we use those to get you into a certain spot, but they're not songs you're going to play. You're not going to really become an expert at playing some of those types of songs, but you need them in order to become an expert at the songs you do want to play. So I have the lessons, today's concert set up in a manner that I hope you approach it when you're at home doing your practice. So you start off, we know bar chords are part of your life as an instrumentalist. They're not going away, and so you might as well get good at them. Okay, so we're going to take this guy, we're going to slide him all the way up to 12, and then we're going to slide him all the way back. You're going to use these four fingers: thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Then we're going to take this and slide all the way down. So here we go. From the top, 0, 0, 0, and then 1, 1, 1, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 10, 10, 11, 12, 12. Now let's turn around and change your pattern to go from ring to thumb now. Ready? From the 12s, go. Ring, middle, index, thumb, 11, middle, index, thumb, 10, middle, index, thumb, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, open, 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 open. Okay, so two things that come out when you do that activity. One, it's just going to help get these guys where they're operating independently and as consistent and steady tempo as you can possibly do. Okay, a lot of times when we're first starting, the fingers don't cooperate as well as we want them to. So I actually, over the years, have managed to get that where it actually works pretty well. What I continue to work on is I would like to have every single one of those notes we just played come out cleanly and perfectly. I got about 90% of them, right? A couple of dead ones up here. I had a dead one right here when we first started. So the chances of you having more than that is pretty high. And the way you do that is just run through that each day as you warm up. Okay, it's going to help build that muscle. Okay, there's actually 3 muscles that run your thumb, and we got to get all of those really, really tough. Okay, and so that's why I like starting with an etude like that. Okay, hey Diane, welcome in. All right, then you put it away. You don't have to you can memorize that one, right? Let's go to the JFA, Jumping Flea Arpeggio, key of C. A lot of you guys will be starting to think like, God, he plays that thing a lot. He's continuing to shove this down our throat. It's not that I'm meaning that this song is the greatest song in the world. It leads you into being a real instrumentalist. This is the easy one out of the book. The key of C was by far the easiest of all of the 30 that are in that book. Not that this is easy. This is pretty challenging. But the idea here is you're taking chords you know, C, G, A minor, G7, and F. Those 5 chords that are sort of the basis of ukulele-dom. We're going to take those 5 chords. We're going to put them on here, and then we're going to teach this hand how to do everything. And so this is where we start. Okay, and we will play it a lot because it works. Once you get the idea behind this one, then the other 29 are more of the same. They're just a lot of bar chords in them, and so they're a little bit harder. Okay, let's grab your C chord. Okay, remember we play page 1 twice. Go down to the bottom, go back up, play it again, and then we go on to page 2. Okay, let me make sure my little footma thingamabopper is working. We are ready to go from the top. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and G, F, back to G, back to C, G, F, sorry, and back to G. Change to quarter notes. G7, again, go on to C, new pattern, ring, index, A minor, F chord, G7, 2 C's, thumb, index, A minor, F chord, G7, go back to the top of the paper. Page 2. Two, 3, 4. Two, 3, a tempo. Ring. Shut it up. Okay. Hopefully that's coming out pretty smoothly. I played it at kind of a fast clip, so if you're struggling keeping up, that makes sense, right? I played it not quite at full speed, but pretty close to full speed. It's clipping right along. There's a whole lot to keep in order there. So hopefully those 2 pieces, if I was new, I could do myself a whole lot worse by just every single day when I sit down to play, running through both of those activities. Both of those activities will lead you to a strong left hand and a strong right hand. And after that, you're dangerous in the ukulele world because you suddenly figure out you don't need to sing anymore. You don't have to. You can just use this. Okay. I was wandering through YouTube yesterday and had the unfortunate experience of having to type in the word ukulele, and it just blows my mind. It's super, super, super crazy, the stuff that's going on out there. And so it's not bad. It's just not as good as it could be. And so I do want you guys to know you're in the right place, and we're going to make you great players. Okay. Some of you are already great players. Some of you guys are going to be like, I don't have to listen to Gary anymore. He's just repeats himself a lot. Okay, you could Yankee Doodle is next up. Okay, let's do that. Linda does this. That. Those hands still make me laugh. I don't know why. I just think that's cute, right? They seem like golf claps, right? hopefully she's clapping for herself, right? Clay, let us know how she did. All right, Yankee Doodle. We typically play in first position, index, middle, ring, and pinky. We're not going to do that today. We're going to play in third position. If you are brand new and you want to just play the chords, Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. That's perfectly legit. Okay, that's if you're newer and you got your C chord, your G chord, and your F chord together. By the way, we spend so much time talking about melody and tough uke around here. We don't spend very much time working on chords. Part of that's on purpose. I know your chords are going to come together. You don't really need to work on them. They'll come together eventually. But part of it is not necessarily that great pedagogically. We really want you to be able to do those as well. So if you are ever thinking, yeah, I can totally play the melody with him, I don't even know why I show up to these broadcasts, then you should be thinking, can I play the chords, right? And can you play it with good tempo and nice, consistent, almost percussive like it reliability. Okay, so that's a legitimate way to play. If you are newer, but you don't want to do your chords, okay, and just play the straight melody. It turns out that this playing straight melody will keep you involved in ukulele for the rest of your life. Whereas the chords, eventually you know them all, and you're sort of like, well, every time I play chords, I end up singing Over the Rainbow, and I don't know if I want to do that anymore. With the melody, you now have every single song that's ever been written available to you if you can pluck out the melody. And so that's one thing that I think we also underemphasize how important. I don't underemphasize it. I think it's critical. But I also know that what you really want to do is play the tough uke. You want to put the chords and the melody together. That's what you really want to do. And here's a great song to do it. Remember, you've got an F chord with your pinky that's going to show up in this one, I think. Yeah, that one's going to show up. So that's going to be F chord, pinky on there. Okay. The other one that shows up here is bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay. So just be ready for those when they're coming. Okay. Play any way you want. Okay. You don't always have to play the way I play. The goal is not to play like me. The goal is to keep up with me, right? To play at the same speed as me. I'm essentially the conductor. Unfortunately, I'm also having to play in this weird world we live in now. But use me as the conductor. Your job as the musician is just to keep up in time. You can play any way you want to, right? And if you miss a note, you miss a note, you move on, right? It's not a mistake. You just played the jazz version. Here we go. From the top, we'll just one time through. One time, first shot, best shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Again, in my mind, that song brings together all of the valuable pieces, all of the tools that you're going to be using down the road. You've got a bar chord in there that shows up in the middle of that. You got this F chord with the C on the top. That's going to be showing up. You've got some rest strokes in here, 003s. Those are going to be showing up. You got mostly a lovely C chord trying to get the most beautiful sound you can out of that. You got this G chord that shows up that turns out is a little bit of a pain every now and then to get on. And that's going to be showing up. There's nothing in this piece of music that you're not going to be using on a daily basis going forward. And so being able to make that sound out perfectly, beautifully, with a little bit of connectedness between the notes, that's a lovely tune to have as a, maybe a warm-up. I don't know what that little image means that Linda just put up. I can't tell what that is. All right, let's go to Amazing Grace. Go all the way to the other end of the alphabet. If you are with me on a regular basis, the best way to set your books up is alphabetically. I think, honestly, as I've gone through trying to figure out the best way to keep my music organized, at the end of the day, I used to keep it all by genre. These are Tin Pan Alley and these are jazz, and it just doesn't work because music doesn't cooperate that way and it'll fall apart on you. So I just keep everything alphabetically these days, and I think it's probably the fastest and smartest way. And then you just maybe keep a list of which songs you're working on, and then you flip around through your book. I think that's the best way to keep your music together. The only thing I still keep completely separate is Christmas music, and holiday stuff, because I'm not going to play that until I absolutely have to. And what you'll find as a musician is if you're writing it, Christmas starts in September. That's where I'm coming up on, and it's like, oh God, here we go. So Christmas starts in September because you have to have it written by the end of October. You got a couple months to get your Christmas music written in September and October. Then after Halloween, you hit it hardcore between Halloween and Thanksgiving. You got to get all of your music in order and playable by Thanksgiving, because guess what? Day after Thanksgiving, then it's Christmas, and you're going to be playing a lot of holiday tunes. Even if you're not from that faith, right? If you're from whatever faith you're from, if you live in the United States, frankly, if you live in the Western world, there's going to be some Christmas music that you're going to be dealing with. And in my Christmas book, I've got some Jewish songs in there. I don't do it to just pander to the Jewish thing. They're nice tunes, right? And so what we want to do is begin to look at around the world. What are the other kind of tunes that are available to you? So when we get there, we'll get there. Like, obviously, you guys will be starting to see some of that start rolling through here in late October. And then we will spend a lot of time on that stuff, because for not everybody, but lots of you, you're going to want to end up being able to play. Some of the tunes are incredible. They don't stick around for 400 years unless it's a pretty good song. And a lot of those tunes have been around for hundreds of years. And so we studied them. Let's do Colorado Christmas. I know, Renee. We have one of our good buddies, Mike Charbonneau. He's one of our great ukulele players here in town. He's been doing Colorado Christmas. He believes in that song. And so we'll for sure add it into the mix this year. Okay. And by the way, if you guys have not the standard list, I have the standard list, right? We have those done. But if you have a sort of a unique Christmas tune that you think, hey, yeah, let's think about that. Start to look for some sheet music. Don't send me the names of things anymore, because I just don't have time to chase down. I have to have a piece of sheet music. And Megan gave me a Christmas song from Finland, Holla Pukki, Holla Pukki. So I'm going to toss that in there, right? And we were able to find the sheet music for it and all that. So if you have a piece of sheet music of a kind of obscure song, especially one that's not American or North American, I guess, send me a link to it, and let's see if we can't start putting a few more. We'll put together the best Christmas book in the history of the world. My Christmas book is already the best Christmas book for ukulele, hands down. I've seen the other things that are on Amazon that are like, really? But I promise you want to stick around until then, because mine's way good. All right. Amazing Grace. Let's play that. Remember, the goal with Amazing Grace is to do the least amount possible with your left hand. Okay. We'll play through it only one time. So you're deciding if you're playing it this way or if you're playing it this way. Either way is acceptable. And so obviously on concert, I'm a thumb guy. I like that. But if you're working on this, this is equally and probably more important in the long run to be able to play a song with this. Okay. All right, here we go. From the top, one time, best shot. 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2. Pretty. Okay. Hopefully you're doing well on that. Okay. Again, trying to do the least amount of work possible with your left hand. That gives you enough. That gives you the ability to focus in and get the best tonality out of your ukulele. And that piece it's lovely. It's got a really nice melody to it. So there we go. All right. How are we doing on time? 1:27. All right. All right. Now we got our gauntlets of happy birthdays. So go grab your regular happy birthday. F G H G H happy. Look at all these happies we got. Happy birthday, and happy trails. All right. Happy birthday regular. Okay, so that's the one. It's February 20th, 2020. That's on the top of your paper. This one's in 3. Okay, this is the standard issue happy birthday. Okay, and we're going to play it 2 ways. First, we're going to go through and play it like we always do. We'll play, you can either play chords, or you can play the melody, or you can play the tough axe, or tough uke, whatever you want to do, and we'll play through. Then we're going to stop, and then we're going to sing it, okay? Because I want you to try, I want you to think, do I have these chords memorized? Do I have these chords memorized? Do I have these chords memorized? And I want you to have the chords memorized, okay? All right, here we go. However you want to play it this time. I'm going to play tough axe, tough uke. Tough uke. What instrument am I playing? I'm going to play tough uke. You're going to play whatever makes sense to you. Then we'll go back through and we'll see if you have it memorized. Okay, from the top. 1, 2. So, if you were going to go to somebody's house and do happy birthday with them, you would say, okay, don't sing yet. I'm going to do this introduction. I'm going to play through this song instrumentally. And then when we hit this, I'll count 1, 2, and then we're going to play the song and sing. Okay. So now the question is, do you have it memorized? Do you need the sheet music still? Okay. You know that there's a G chord. There's going to be 2 D7s. There's going to be a G chord, a D7, and a C. Then you're going to start singing again, and you're going to add in a G, the other D7, and back to G. If you have that memorized, you don't need to go get your sheet music anymore, and you can just go to people's houses and sing them happy birthday. Okay, and you can, if you put on a circus clown outfit, you'll make bank. Okay, you'll make way more money than I make doing this. Okay, here we go from the top. Sing, at least hum loud, right, or hum quietly. Okay? 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. Do you have it memorized? Go ahead and take time right now. G chord, D7, G chord, D7, C, G chord, D7, G chord. One more time. Let's do it together. Make your strum pattern as fancy and as fun. Pretend that it's a birthday for somebody you actually like. Okay? From the top. 1, 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe Schmo. Happy birthday to you. Okay. I use the other D7 accidentally, right? You're fine. You can use either of those D7s are fine if you're just going to sing and strum. You can use the fancy one. You can use the easy one. Doesn't really matter. I like the fancy one. I think it sounds much better than this one. But I'm also very lazy, and so I use this one a lot. All right. That's the easier of the two happy birthdays. That's the one you're probably going to want to just stick in your noggin and have it hanging out there for the rest of your life, because it'll come up where you get to play happy birthday for people. Plus, there's nothing funnier. I will tell you, if you know any boys that are going to be turning any number that ends in teen at the end, you say, hey, Auntie Renee is going to come over. I have a special birthday present. When are you getting all your fellas together for your birthday? I want to come over and give it to you then. And they will think, oh, that's cool. She's going to bring me keys to a car. And then you bring your ukulele in and you get all the fellas around and you sing it on ukulele. He will remember it for the rest of his life. You will remember it for the rest of your life. You will have completely different stories at Thanksgiving from then on about how that went. You'll think it went fabulous, and he will still be mortified when he's 35 that you had done that for him. So we're just using ukulele as a weapon at that point, and it's something you want to work on. Okay. Happy birthday in 4. That's our next one. Happy birthday Blinky style. I think I have it listed as your thinking about. All right, don't weaponize the ukulele. That's bad, unless it's funny. All right. Again, now we're taking that happy birthday song, but we're adding in an extra beat into every measure. So that creates, you need to do something on that extra beat. And in this case, it's happy birthday to you. Chuck, chuck. Happy birthday to you. Chuck, chuck. Happy birthday, dear children. Happy birthday to you. Chuck, chuck. And then we're going to sing it a second time through. So I would say if you're trying to get your full skill set together, sing it, or, don't sing it yet. Go through and play it instrumentally the first time through, and then maybe think about switching up, either going to just straight melody or switching up and going to with the chords, right? And then adding your voice in as melody. I don't mention it often enough, but if you are playing straight melody, it's not really recommended that you sing that, because you'll find you're trying to constantly tone match to the instrument, and it just always sounds very stilted and weird. We have found out if we're going to have singers in our orchestra, they're going to be in charge of chords, because then they've got the flexibility with their voice to sort of make the notes smoosh together like singers like to do. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And so if you're singing, you're way better off playing the chords and then letting your voice, fill in the melody. Playing the melody and singing the melody, it creates a weirdness that doesn't always work. All right, from the top, I'm going to play Tough Uke both times through, and you can play any way you feel comfy. Okay, here we go. Count in 3, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to play it from the top again. Go to the top. I totally wiped out. What's wrong with me? It's all the coffee. From the top, 1, 2, 3. So that's how we meant to do it. By the way, if the conductor wipes out, you do stop and you start. Right? If you wipe out, you have to just keep going because the conductor won't stop. Right? Most of the time, the conductors don't wipe out. Although I wipe out plenty, and that's because I'm not that good at my job. All right, let's go on. There's Happy Birthday. Okay, last of our Happy Birthday songs for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. For He's a Jolly Good Fellow. And I told you guys it was guinea pig week, right? That means you end up with 3 happy birthday songs in 1 week. All right, for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, remember you're in F now, okay? And anytime you're in F, pretty good chance you're going to see a B flat come in, and you're probably, if you're hanging around with me, you're probably going to see this B flat. Both of those B flats show up in this piece. I think that may be about as hard as it gets. You do have the F chord with your pinky on it. That's going to come up. And if I remember right, that's it. Yeah, so those are your tough ones that are going to come up. At the end, we do have this F chord. There's a wrap up. And if you are not doing tough uke, which you may not be, perfectly fine, you've got a beautiful, really fairly straightforward melody. 5 is your high note, right? And so you're going to be able to play the entire thing in first position and then clear up to the end when you get to 7, 7, 8s, right? And then you're thinking probably 5th position, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and that's very typical when you're playing an F, is you're going to have the pinky as your high note because that's an F note sitting there, and so it's not uncommon that you're playing 5th position to get a melody like that put together. Okay, here we go from the top. I'll play tough uke, and I took out all the repeats. It used to have a repeat. This song used to be about teaching you how to read repeats. Turns out it's harder than it needs to be, so I got rid of those. So straight through, top to bottom, first shot, best shot. I will count in 1, 2, and then we'll go. Okay? 1, 2. How'd we do? I like that song. Probably, if you are a ukulele instrumentalist, that's about how you would do it, right? That's about what you would knock out. If you go and you're in the pub and you've had an ale, I think that's what they call them, your ale or a stout, right? If you're old, you have a stout. You're probably just going to strum and sing that sucker, right? Which nobody can deny. It's super fun. Years ago, we were taking a train trip. I don't remember from where to where. I think it was from Paris to Berlin, if I remember right. And I went back to the food cart, and there was these German boys. They were all probably 25, 26, huge guys. I think they were on some sort of a construction crew or something. They were all got huge. And as if it was a cartoon, they're all standing around the bar in the bar cart, they were in the bar car and they all had a beer, and one of them, honest to God, had an accordion, and they were singing like nobody's business. I don't know what they were singing, but it was hilarious. And so that really does happen over there. So there you go. Linda says, great. All right, so good job. I hope you guys are all doing well on these. All right, we got 2 tough ones to wrap up with. It's 1:40, so we've got plenty of time to get them in. Let's go to Ash Grove. And then let me give you a quick overview of where I think we're headed coming up. Let's see. Let me find my A's. Ash Grove. Ash Grove. There it is. Next week, we're going to continue working on the guinea pig stuff. I do want to get, what I'm trying to do is get all of the level, what I would consider next level intermediate stuff. So, or next level intro stuff. And my intro is different than everybody else's intro, right? You guys know this. You walk in here, this is pretty hard right off the bat. But it makes sense if you go through it from Frere Jacques down through the system. And so the stuff I'm throwing at you this next couple weeks is stuff designed to be a part of that. So there'll be about 50 songs altogether on the intro section. That way, for those of you guys that are newer, or you're like, oh, I don't know if I quite have all my tools together, or if you're teaching it and you need to teach other people, I want you to have a nice solid sequential, this, do this, then this, then this, then this, then this, so that you will have that and can actually just follow that. So that section, as I've told you guys, I'm going to move that an hour earlier. We're going to do that at noon. And then the stuff we work on here, the harder stuff, the more modern stuff, the stuff that requires your fingers to hurt and you to get sad about your abilities and all this stuff, that's going to stay in this section. So you'll kind of have that choice of, hey, I'm playing pretty well. I want to stick with the 1 o'clock group. I think I need to dig in a little bit deeper onto some of the a little bit easier stuff, or go through the program a second time type of people. You'll be in the earlier time slot. Hopefully it'll work out for you. I know no matter what time I pick, it won't work out for lots of people. And then we'll continue the Monday night sessions into the fall. We canceled orchestra until January. So oddly enough, and it makes me mental, those guys feel like they already are awesome players, so they don't need this, which is not true. But many of them don't come around anyway. But I want to keep that Monday night open for those that think that they can benefit from what we're doing here. And you're probably not going to be playing in large groups probably for a while. You're probably going to do a ton of Zoom. And so being able to be a great soloist is what you're working on with me, right? I want to play with other people too. That's absolutely one of the great joys of being a musician, is getting together with other people and trying to figure out how the heck you can all create music using the same sheet of paper. But you're not going to be doing that for a while probably. So let's get your solo skills up. Let's make it possible for you to push Jake off the stage. Say, you know what, you had your time. It's time for Lynn to be up on stage and be playing whatever it is that Lynn's going to play that day. And so I want you to have tons and tons of work with your solo stuff so that you can get really good at it. And you're going to play with me, right? So you're going to get good at playing your solo stuff in a duet style with me all of the time. Whatever you're doing at home, that's going to benefit you when things when we can get back together and play face to face. And so that's my plan. Hopefully that's going to make sense for most of you guys. And that's that. Lynn's like, yeah, get to work, Lynn. You got a solo performance up there. And Jake's going to be your warm-up band. So you better be good. All right. So that's the plan, at least for now. We're still a few weeks away from that. I'll keep you updated as we're going along with that. It depends on our city. I always commit to our city program. It's a community teaching program situation that I'll teach ukulele and guitar and harmonica with them. I've committed to them for the evenings in the fall, but the chances of those happening are pretty small. So we will probably add in another night of ukulele online, and it may be a Zoom class. I doubt it, but it might be something different. I don't know. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. So we'll see if those classes make. They're probably not going to make, and so then I got to keep myself busy in the evenings. And I'm writing a ton of music, you guys, so I have a lot of good stuff coming. It's not done yet, but it is definitely on the way, and I feel pretty good about what things are coming out. So hopefully you'll stick around and continue to play with us. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know why, but apparently that's some sort of magic number in YouTube. And by the way, if you know anybody who has a Gmail account, have them come subscribe too, right? Let's bend the system a little bit to our advantage. The sooner we get ukulele to be more than just a handful of chords and singing Riptide, the sooner that we all will be treated we don't care how people treat us, right? We have this. We don't need, it doesn't matter how we get treated, but the sooner that we create a meaningful sense of that this is a musical instrument that you can treat as a musical instrument for anybody at any age, at any time. We can get people out of audiences and into a performance mode so that you are stop becoming just a music consumer, but you're also a music creator and producer. And that's what this thing does for us. And I'm very passionate about that. So tell people to come subscribe to my channel. I don't know what happens when you get to 1,000, but I do know that I want to get there. And so that's my new thing. So I'll be bugging you to bug your groups and your networks to come and subscribe to my thing. Plus, I'm just lovely, right? So they should get to know me. All right, Ash Grove, here we go. Remember, the repeats are a little bit of a challenge on this one. You're going to play all the way down through measure 8. Then you're going to go back and you're going to play all the way down through measure 7. Then you're going to play page 2, 9 through 17. Okay, once you get to 17, you're going to go all the way back up to the top. You're going to play down through 7, and then you're going to skip from 7 and finish up with 18 and 19. Okay, so playing the repeats, that sort of thing is always one of those early, every time you get a new piece of music, that's one of the first things you have to study is, one, is it in a key I get? Do I understand what these chords look like? Does it fit on a ukulele? What do the repeats look like? Okay, and in this case, it fits on 2 pages, but it would be 4 pages if we didn't have all these repeats in here. And so that's, so you got to get where you can read those. Okay, all right, here we go. In 3, I'm going to count in 2. 1, 2. Back to the top. To the top. There's my like Linda just wrote, right? I blew all of the hard chords, right? Because Gary didn't warm up on page 2. Gary played page 1. Let's go really quickly. I want to just make sure I didn't blow them completely. Measure 11, you've got 9, 10, 10, 10. Okay, it's a cool chord, very hard to get to. And then the other super hard chord is at, where did I find that? Measure 14. That's your F sharp minor shape on 4 with your pinky on 7. Okay, and I got it on 5, and that's why I had that weird sound. I'd like to play it again because I know I can do better, and hopefully you play it better than I did. Okay, from the top, 1, 2. To the top. All right, on Monday, I'm going to play that one again. Okay, I did not do well for myself there. So on Monday, if you want to play it again with me, we'll keep it on the list. I need another one more shot to play that right. So add that to your Monday list because Gary can't play ukulele for some reason right at the moment, and for some reason those I don't know. I kept losing my plays on the paper. I think maybe I have not. I need to spend a little more time on it. So this weekend I'm studying Ash Grove and we're playing it again on Monday. All right. I'll move it to Monday. I'll give you another song for Monday as well. All right. And then let's wrap up with 5'2", which I know I can play if I don't look at the paper. But we're going to look at the paper and we're going to make this thing happen. As I told you guys already, my eyes kept going to the guitar line. Yeah. And so that's the thing. Another helpful hint, right? And this is actually a legitimate musical thing. Have a highlighter, right? I've talked before about the importance of a highlighter when you get to a second repeat or a first repeat. Put a piece of highlighter there, so you're like, okay, am I on the first repeat, the second repeat? What repeat am I on? And then put a highlighter as on where you're to repeat back to, so your eyes track a little better. It's just easier. Oh, I got to go look for my yellow dot. So put it there. But the other thing is, and all piano players who've ever taken a piano lesson, you know that there's always the lyric line and then the piano line and guitar stuff, and there's all this crap there's all this stuff all over your sheet music. The one way to help is just take a highlighter through your part, right? I'm playing this line. Okay. And then if later on you decide to switch lines, okay, I'm just playing the line above the yellow highlighter or below the yellow highlighter, but at least put a yellow highlighter through the line you're most likely to be playing. And that way your eye has a tendency not to jump around on the paper quite so much. I kept getting lost on the guitar line too. Yeah. So, by the way, I did too. Okay. So I don't have highlighter on my paper. I could solve that problem. Just run a piece of orange or yellow highlighter through there. Yeah, I have the got by the 5 highlighter packs, which then I immediately lose 3 of the colors. But have yellow for your repeats and orange for your line, and you can put blue on the whatever. You know how it goes. A good idea about how they are part. I kept looking at the guitar girls. It's tough you could choose. Yeah, tough you choose at the bottom. So everybody's doing the same thing. All of us did. All right. So whatever. So whatever. Right. We didn't play it wrong. We just played the guitar line perfectly. So there we go. Yeah, I got to do that a little bit. We do have teachers here who I want to try to find some support for them. I want them to be able to say, hey, I saw on this one piece of music you add a guitar line. Could you add a guitar line onto this other song? And yeah, heck yeah, I can. It's called software and it's not that hard to do. So, all right. Whew. Brutal. Okay. The guitar line messes up. Guitar messes us up. We're ukulele players. Screw guitar, right? All right. 5'2". Let's do it right. Okay. There is no guitar line on 5'2". Remember, on this piece, you're going to play down 1 through 8. Then we're going to go back through. We're going to play 1 through 7, skip to 9, and we're going to ride it out to the end. Okay. And I'm going to play it slow for you. I played it for you fast earlier this week so you can see what it looks like. Let's play it slow so you hopefully can get as much of it in as possible. This is a lovely one just to play the melody too. You play the melody, have a friend of yours play the chords, you'd have a great time. Okay. 1914. Okay. They made decent music back then. All right. From the top, nice and slow, not fast. I'm going to count 1 and then we're going to go. Ready? 1. Go. Go. Two, three, four. All right, there's 5'2", and it's 1:59. So we got the whole thing in an hour, and I talked too much anyway, right? So that one is meant to be played about twice that fast, but at least get your chords and your fancy shapes in place. I've been playing that song now for a decade probably. It's always fun. It's a crowd pleaser every time. It sounds beautiful on the ukulele. It was probably written on the ukulele, and I think it's a keeper, right? So so spend a little bit of time on that. Nothing like having a nice Tin Pan Alley tune, especially when you play for young people. They don't know any music that is older than 1990, and so you drop something like that on them, and it will blow their minds, right? You say, yeah, we're going to play something from 14, and they'll think, oh, and then you'll say 1914, and they'll be like, what? Okay, it's fun Always remember, guys, this is a place in an hour a day where you can come and just disappear. That's what I hope today is, and I hope you keep it on your schedule. Okay, I know fall's coming, and we got to start making plans for all that craziness that's going to ensue. But try to find an hour a day to hang out with me. That gets your 30 minutes practice in, right? That's a cheap way to get it done. So, all right, kids, have a wonderful weekend. I'm actually going to go for a walk in the woods tomorrow. So if I get eaten by a lion, I won't be here on Monday. We have mountain lions up here in Colorado, and they're not afraid of people anymore. So I might be dead in Monday. I'm going outside, but we found a trail that nobody seems to use, so we're going to go try it, and we'll see what happens. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, right? It's not good out there. Don't trust people that they we should be fine. They're not fine. Okay, so be careful and keep playing ukulele. Keep showing up. Tell your friends to come play ukulele and subscribe, and tell your friends to come subscribe so we can get to 1,000. And then I don't know. I think maybe they fly in Jeff Bezos and he kisses me on the lips or something. I don't know what happens at 1,000, but we're going to try to get there. All right. Let's see who's saying goodbye. Let's see. Have a wonderful weekend, Renee. See you, Kat. See you, Lynn, Patty. Yeah, I hope to do better too. On Monday, I'm going to kill Ash Grove. That's my plan. Linda, have a great weekend. I'm having problems with the G7 on the 5th fret. Yeah, that G7 on the 5th fret, super challenging. G7, okay. This is just you got your D7, move it down 2, slide it up to 5, okay. And then either your ring or your pinky, okay. I don't find pinky useful. Okay, I always put my ring there. It's not going away. That's one of those shapes that you're going to have to know. It's a super useful shape. Comes up all the time. Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard. You'll get it, though. You will get it. Okay, you'll get it. It's getting your ring. You're now stretching your. Remember, when G was hard enough. Now I'm going to make you stretch it an extra fret. So, yeah, it's tough. But you'll get it. You'll get it. Clay, good to see you, bud. Keep coming back. Thanks for joining us every day this week. Pauline, have a great weekend. Enjoy the Bay Area. You guys are having a lovely summer out there this year. Great time. Thanks, Phyllis. Good. Phyllis, you're holding up the Canada. You're holding up, keeping Canada together for us. Keep doing it. Mike, be good in Denver, right? We got to keep they clean the governor's mansion up. I'm so excited. Lanny, good to see you, bud. See you next week, Mike. See you Monday. Carol, up in Nathrop. Okay, good to see you, Carol. Glad you've really been putting in your hours, Carol. Good for you. Valerie, we'll see you next weekend. Good luck with those realtors. Jeez, Louise. Squish in ukulele if you can. Obviously, I get it. It's super hard to do. So, and Uke Noob, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. In fact, just keep showing up. All of a sudden, one day, none of this will be. You'll get it. Okay. Delighted you've been joining us, and yeah, there's a little catching up to do. You came in at a kind of a tough time, so a couple more weeks of the current program, and then we're gonna start the whole program over again. So you'll be fine. We'll get you up to be the greatest Argentinian ukulele player out there. Okay. And Linda, mahalo to you, my friend. We will see you guys next week. Be good, be safe, and I will unplug the stream. Talk to you guys on Monday.